I'm here in the absolutely beautiful Wales, and I'm here to see a friend of mine called Chris Lewis. Now, Chris is an incredible guy, so inspirational. He actually walked the entire British coastline over the course of 6.5 years. Started off on his own. He was quite a broken man. He was suffering with PTSD after his time in the army. And then after about 9 months, he met his beloved dog, Jet.
He adopted her and the two continued their walk together. And 3 years later, Chris met Kate, his now fiancée, and they had their beautiful son, Magnus.
Over the last months, Jet, she's really started to decline. She's got significant lameness. She's uncomfortable, she's sad, and now she's become incontinent. I really do wish I could be here under better circumstances, but I've come to help Chris to say goodbye to Jet. How we look after our old and sick animals is important, and it's also important to manage their death in the most dignified and peaceful way possible. Chris and Kate are being so brave. Euthanasia can actually be a moment that you give to your animal. You say, enough's enough, you've done so well. We want to deliver you away from pain and suffering. And that's a very noble thing to do, but it's hard as hell. And this is going to be a really hard one.
I'm Dr. Scott. And this is Rescue Vet.
Hey, good morning, folks. How are we? Hey, good evening, folks. How are we? Hey, folks. How are we? There's my beautiful girls down there. Say hello. Go on, girlie. Go on.
It was by pure chance that mine and Jet's paths crossed. I hadn't thought about getting a dog. I hadn't thought about anything, to be honest with you, apart from the walk and just moving forward. And it just so happened that I was in a place where somebody was giving away a dog that they were just unable to have her anymore. Without trying to sound too cliche or too cheesy, when I looked into her eyes, I saw something so wise and so beautiful, really. It was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Chris and Jet spent the next 3 years solo walking the coast of Britain, really cementing their special bond.
George.
Just watching her running around was joyous. Even in the middle of huge storms in a tent, Jet would just be up on her back with her paws up in the air playing, and it was comforting to know that regardless of how hard it was, in Jet's eyes, as long as I was there, she was happy. We were never apart. The only time up until now Jet and I have ever been apart is if I had to nip into a shop somewhere and she wasn't allowed in, but apart from that, because thieves. It was just a constant, probably when I needed it, somebody to focus on other than myself, take my mind off of things that perhaps clouded my mind prior to the walk. So yeah, she saved me.
The relationship that Chris and Jet have is probably going to make me emotional now. Do you know, I think it is the most special, without doubt, it's the most special relationship I've ever seen between a human and an animal. What she's done for him in terms of just the unwavering loyalty and devotion, that has shown him that love is unconditional. I think he never felt that before in his whole life, and he's felt that from her. They're lost without each other.
The last time I met up with Chris, Kate and Jet was when they found some lumps on Jet's tummy, which turned out to be mammary cancer that I removed in surgery.
It was a really, really difficult time, and it broke my heart. Somehow he managed to pull it off, and Jet came away, healthy and happy. And I'll never forget that. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks to him, she's managed to live an extra 2.25 years. We've had her for longer. That's just been amazing.
Sadly, despite the surgery being a success and curative, over the next 2 years, Jet's health started to decline.
I noticed a difference in Jet after she'd had the surgery. I definitely did, and I never really saw Jet as an age. if I'm honest, because I saw her for what she could do and what she was capable. I definitely knew she was slowing down, there's no doubts about that.
She just never really took to walking in the same way again, and so because of that, you know, we ended up with a van to help us.
It was, oh yeah, we're having a baby, so we need to have the safety of a van for Magnus. But the truth is I knew Jet was ready for retirement, and I wanted to make sure, of course there was a part of it for Magnus, of course, but I never wanted to put her through anything that she wasn't ready to do. And as soon as she started slowing down, retired Jet. Nobody told me that it was Jet's time. I knew deep down, you know, just the way she looks at me, you know, she's a shadow of her former self.
It's clear that 90% of the day she's uncomfortable, she's in pain. As much as we try and make her comfortable, we just don't want to prolong her agony.
You've got to think about the quality of life, and believe me, there's no one on this planet that wants her to be around for another year more than I do, but we're best friends, and you've got to do the right thing. I hope she would do that for me. I'm sure she would. It's a feeling that I've never had before. It's absolutely destroying me, if I'm honest.
After discussing Jet's health over the last few months, the weekend everyone was dreading has finally arrived, and they've decided to say goodbye at Rosselli Beach in Wales, the place where Chris started his epic solo walk and finished it with his family.
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you. How amazing.
Magnus, when we last saw Dr. Scott, I think I was 6 or 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
just a little thing.
Yeah, we were too busy focusing on your fur baby.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary, isn't it, to think that that massive surgery that we did on Jet was 2 years ago. Well, especially as, you know, that kind of tumour normally comes with an expected lifespan of maybe, you know, 6 months to a year. So it's an incredible result, really, to get 2 years down the line. I honestly never would have promised you that.
Well, probably testament to the surgery that you did.
Yeah.
Well, you're very kind. I'll take it.
The quality of your care.
She's so bonded to you, it's so clear that she would have followed you through fire.
100%. Yeah,
So,
100%.
and she loved being outside, and she loved the walk, and she was an athletic dog. So, you know, so you just gave her great joy and great companionship. And, you know, she needed it, you needed it.
Yeah,
it was a perfect union, really.
It worked. No one's ever been able to do that for me before. Nobody. I feel like a dog that can't speak understands me more than anybody I know.
Yeah.
There is and will never be a harder decision for me than this, but it's the right one, and I know it. So my feelings have to go on the log pile for now.
Yeah. She's done so well. You know, she's just done brilliantly.
Excusez-moi.
Yeah.
Excusez-moi.
Do you know what? It's a last supper. Let her eat what she wants.
Yeah.
Eat it.
I've got 3 steaks lined up for her.
Yeah. Have your 3 steaks and a
you're not
Guinness.
wrong, actually.
That's not a bad way. Leave it. There you go. Fill your boots. But I think it's, you know, she's a testament to you that she's lasted this long. And it's always said, I think, as well, that at the end, we make a decision which will break our hearts, but we do it for them and not for us. It's the one moment that we can put them ahead of us, as she's always put you ahead of her. You know, she's a dog that's followed you into the wilds of the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Spent most of her life
in the rain with like a stinky pirate guy. Like
like a stinky pirate guy.
And that's the choice she made. That's love. That is love.
She so loves him. Honestly, there's nothing Jet would rather do than lick Chris's feet. And I mean, if that's not love.
I've tried it with Kate. She just won't have any of it.
Yeah, no, well done. I'd probably have to vaccinate you.
It's really weird. I for so long, you know, I always thought how I would feel if ever this day was to come.
How do you feel?
I know that there's just going to be this void that will never ever be filled. I know that, but I can rest assured knowing that I've given up every part of me, every bit of me that a dog could have. You know, I've given her everything, as she has for me, and I know it's the right time. And for that reason, after, I won't have any regrets.
No, should you?
Only happy memories, you know. But this is where I'm trying to hold it together now, so. She's my best friend and always will be. Simple. Nothing comes close.
All right. Well, let's enjoy a last dinner together, last drink together, and then tomorrow we'll do what needs to be done together. Right. Here's
Jet.
Jet.
The jet. Jetty.
You're gorgeous.
You're gonna have some Guinness.
That is not vet recommended. Just saying.
Last day, mate, last day.
Tonight was bittersweet because they, well, their hearts are breaking right in front of my eyes. It's so hard to see, but I'm just so glad that I can be here for them at this really hard point of their lives. It was really nice to raise a toast to Jet, but now it very much is Chris and Kate's evening. It's their time to reflect on the wonderful life that they've spent with this gorgeous dog. It's a really difficult day today. I didn't get a huge amount of sleep. Just woke up and kept thinking about what it was I was here for today. A really hard part of the job, the burden of carrying the decision and then the action of taking a family member away from a family is quite a lot, especially when you know that the dog is as much loved as Jet. It's hard to see an amazing man who has achieved so much lose something that's so important to him. And he's my friend, so yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard. I definitely have to be the strong one today. It's something you sort of have to condition yourself as a vet to realize it isn't about you. And actually it isn't even about the owner. At that point it is about the animal, and realizing that it's the right thing for them, but it'll break everyone else's hearts.
I found so much strength in Jet over the years. Like, she's such a special, she's just the most gentle, special, most beautiful soul in a dog you could ever ask for.
I heard a saying recently, and it can be more true, how lucky I am to have somebody in my life that makes saying goodbye so hard. Dogs, if you let them this close to you, are just capable of doing something humans aren't. I just know that I just won't have another person or living being have the bond that we have. The experiences that we had, the adventures we had. She came into my life when I was still trying to turn a corner, and I turned it with her. And she'll be leaving me with a family that she helped me to get. I always thought Jet's legacy would be that she walked the UK coastline and done what no other dog before had done, and it's not. You know, it's my family. It's that simple. But you have to be strong for them. You know, I can do my crying bit afterwards, as much as I'm trying not to right now.
Ready?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all right. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Let's go.
The main thing is that when she goes, you know, she sees me happy, because that's what she's made me.
Just sit down with them. That's it. You're okay. One thing just to remember is the last sense to go is her sense of hearing. So talk to her.
gonna help, pal. It's gonna help you, alright? No more feeling in pain, girl. You are the best friend I will ever have. It's okay.
Good girl, honey.
It's okay.
It's all right. Daddy's with you.
Tell me when she's fallen to sleep, okay?
Yeah, she's going a little bit sleepy now.
So sorry, mate. I just wanted to do what's best for you.
You are, mate. You are. You're putting her first.
You'll come close to you. Okay? I love you. I love you, Jack. I love you. It's okay. I love you, Jack. Bye.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. She's gone, mate. She's gone. It's okay. It's okay. Go for a walk, mate. It's okay. She went with Grace, Dignity, and Chris was there right to the end, and whispering sweet nothings in her ear, telling her that she was the one and the only, and just thanks for the time they spent together. Just, so, you know, there's that say that this dog, but to Chris, she's so much more than that. This dog captured a part of his life where he was struggling, life was hard. She lifted him up. She companionship and love when he didn't think he deserved it. Now he's lost that love. He's broken. I'm glad that I was here for him. I'm glad I could do this job, but this job sometimes is really hard.
You think you know all about it, then it seems you are wrong. She hid out in the park before it had even begun. I needed sunshine in the darkness burning out. Well, now I know that I'm the fuel and she's the spark. We are bound to each other's hearts, caught, torn, and pulled apart. This love is like wildfire. And to my word, now I'll be true. I can't stop this breaking loose.